Hi, everybody. We're back to talk about Missouri Valley Conference tournament action and the championship games, the semifinals, and our first round game, which we took a look at the last time with Southern Illinois and Bradley going down to the end and the Braves advancing to the semifinals, but not against Northern Iowa. They were knocked off by the Drake Bulldogs, who were playing very, very, very good basketball at the time, and we'll take a look at that. With us today is head coach Brian Wardle and assistant coach Mike Bargen. And also joining me is my broadcast partner, the former number 30 of the Bradley Braves and veteran now of our broadcast team, Chad Klein.
I'm old enough, Dave. You don't need to add the veteran part.
Chad, turn your camera so everyone can see your 30 jersey up there.
Yeah, the Bradley room, man.
I love
it. I got nothing to live for but the Bradley room anymore.
So when you go to a game, look for number 30 and compare Chad's game to the number 30 on the floor for the Braves when that does happen. Coach, this was
probably a little faster.
Bulldogs. You had two outstanding games with them, different types of games. Their guy in the middle was very good. I think we'll see our guy in the middle be even better in this game.
Yeah.
Set it up for us.
Yeah, we talked about, Southern Illinois. The first game's always the hardest, Friday night, and then we get to the semis on Saturday, and we've been in the semis, I think 3 years in a row, right, Bargs?
Yep, that's right.
And so that Saturday feeling of the Final Four, it's a different vibe. You guys know that, Dave and Chad, you feel it in the building, you feel it in the city, the hotels. So anything can happen in this game. But their game is, they got Penn, they got Robbins, Penn and Robbins. And their point guard's very talented, gifted passer, strong. Robbins is really talented big man. And they got a lot of good pieces around him. So Drake is tough guard defensively, very good offensively, a team. And we had our hands full in this game, especially on a short turnaround and in a short prep. But our guys were ready to go. I mean, they were focused. They were dialed in. We knew we had to play smart. We had to execute our game plan, both ends. And, it'll be fun to watch and just kind of talk through a momentum-changing segment of kind of, we feel, where we kind of open the game up a little bit for ourselves.
Mike, you had to scout for this game. What are some of the keys that you look for in having to beat Drake that day?
Well, I think when we went back, we looked at Robin's performance in Des Moines, and he was so dominant against us. I think we had all of our bigs on the bench by the end of it fouled out. So we knew we had to do a good job of being smart, being physical, not allowing him to have deep post position, and then not allowing Penn to just kind of get sliced through us, get by us and create for these other guys that are kind of just play roles for him. So those two guys were main focuses of all of it. They run the night before when they were playing Northern Iowa. They just pretty much put those two guys in ball screen action the whole night. And then from the flip side of it, offensively, we knew they weren't going to guard certain people, and that's how they beat Northern Iowa. They just dared people to shoot. And so we needed to move our offense a little bit, make some cutting actions that open some space up. Really helped Darryl in the first half get off to a good start. He played in the mid-range well. Danye had a good start to the game. But we knew it was going to be one of those games of momentum. And I think that's, what we're getting ready to watch here is these tournaments, you got to handle adversity. And, I thought we did a tremendous job of jumping out on them early. They came back into, get it close, and then we'll see how this thing plays forward.
Brian, you had a good start in the second half. You opened up the lead, and that often happens when you make adjustments. And then Drake makes their run. Basketball is a game of runs, and you just have to make your run a little bit longer and really focus in when it comes down to the wire, and that's what happened here.
Yeah, and here in this game, if we start the game, we're up 6. Penn, we wanted to make him become a jump shooter. We wanted him to make threes. I'm not a big analytics guy, but I do believe in it when it comes to personnel and shooting percentages and where they get their shots. And we didn't want Penn to beat us getting to the paint and creating, like Mike said. So these threes were tough, but we can kind of live with them in this situation, honestly. So right now, timeout called. I called a timeout. They're making a run. They cut it to 3. Now we got to come out of the timeout and execute and get the ball.
So coming off 10-0 or going into 10-0 run, what are you telling them in the hoop and in the timeout? I mean, obviously knocked down the 3. You're willing to give that up to them, but what are the adjustments that you're making?
We might have made some mistakes on the ball screen defense, on switching. So we're talking about just minor details, but mostly it's calm. Stay calm. It's a game where they made their run. It's time to make ours. Let's go out here and execute. You're going to see us run something to get maybe a mismatch or get someone a touch or get someone a shot that was feeling it. So we'll come down right here and see what we run. I don't even remember. Mike, you remember?
Yeah, we were going to go try to get the ball into Daryl's hands with a little pin down handoff and then a cross screen by Nate. And it was going to be our 3 biggest weapons on offense, in play.
Perfect.
And Nate, that shot fake's lethal because of how good that jump shot is.
Well, and just passing out of a double team, you're drawing defense, and it's a wide open look with one simple dribble.
Yep. And Elijah, I love a post touch out of timeouts. And
Absolutely.
Elijah does a great job this whole tournament of drawing 2. He's a hard matchup one-on-one in that post. We all know that. And his passing in this tournament was critical. So that kick out, shot fake pull up was big.
He had Ville guarding Penn there. Had some size.
Yeah, he got matched up on him. Not our normal matchup for him. We wanted Daryl on him. As you can see, they're kind of scrambling back, but because of some early movement, you just got to guard who you got and play it for that possession.
Good job getting over by Daryl on the ball screen. That's great job by Ville, just leveling them off. Sturtz, number 3, is a great back cutter. Back cuts are a key in this game. We didn't want to get beat by back cuts. They're a great cutting team. And we didn't want to overhelp off him because he will pass it more than probably try to go score. And we did a great job there of taking away shooters and just holding our ground on his drive.
Bad foul.
Yeah.
If you remember in the first half, Daryl really hurt them on mid-range jump shots.
Yes.
And that last probably 2 or 3 ball screens of the first half, they had Robbins double. And we talked about it at half and it was like, if you want to take that big fella out and chase our little guard all over the court, I think we're okay with that.
Well, and you're going to foul him out because he can't move his feet.
Right. And you can see how he gets stretched here, and Koch gets the dunk off great feed from Daryl.
I mean, beautiful heads though by Daryl. I mean, that hesitation got Penn to move up on him, and he just blew by him. A great drop off there. But that was off a ball screen and a rescreen. Good switch.
Making that extra pass as well.
Kaboom!
All right, here it is. Robbins, Penn again. A lot of those balls. Look at Koch stay with him. Great job by Elijah. Good. Keep him in front. We want that shot. That is a shot. We'll fly by on Sturtz. Daryl with a good block out. So that's just smart. These are all smart plays and scouting report plays right now.
Well, and you talk about defending and Penn trying to get to the basket, but look how they set up. I mean, they basically have 4 or 5 guys around the perimeter opening up lanes for him. And I thought you did such a great job of just helping each other, playing for each other.
No, we did. Dave, did we get a big kaboom there live?
We did.
You remember?
It reverberated all over the
That one went big because in 1, it was a big moment, but 2, it was Koch, and we've been wanting Koch to do that for 4 years, and it's like it all kind of came to a culmination right there.
Great pass. We call that a hockey dribble. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Wow. Beautiful. Elijah did a great job there.
That looked like a cross-body check.
He didn't argue it. I respect that. But now we got Ville, a freshman shooter. That was a great play by Elijah, not forcing the shot, driving baseline. We call it a hockey dribble, kind of where they skate behind the goal. We dribble behind the backboard, and then we find Ville on that side. And, he's a confident freshman here making free throws.
Do you remember early in the season, it was just like he could not hit a shot. And we all knew it was just a matter of time. But, man, when he really found it and became a huge part.
Yeah, I mean, I was getting emails and texts on why I'm playing 22. I remember. I said, just wait. The numbers will play out. The numbers will play out. He was a weapon for us in this game and in this whole tournament for sure.
You gave Koch a blow and got Jashawn in.
Yeah, Mike, tell him why. That was planning.
Yeah, Drake was notorious for playing small, and when they bring their other 5-man in, he's nothing more than a kind of a center point guard. Playing a lot at the top, people cut off of him. He doesn't really have a post game. He's more preferred to shoot threes, so they just spread you out. And so we needed to go small to match up with him. Obviously, Elijah got switched to a much quicker guard there and just had a tough time keeping him in front.
It's one of those plays you hope they don't replay, and they replayed that one a little bit later, and it's like, whew, he left him just kind of standing there.
Noah's super fast, Tom.
Yeah, super fast, quick step.
Speed. And that'd be scouting report there. Like, you got to back off and move your feet on him.
Well, and if the hair throws you a fake, you go the other direction before the rest of them catches up.
I think that was only their second field goal of the half.
Yeah. That's just – Vilay's got to be there too. I mean, he's got to be rotated over a little quicker. So that's just a breakdown. They happen. Basketball's kind of a game of mistakes in a way, and you want to make the least amount of mistakes. Good little flare screen. We try to run Vilay off a flare there. Here comes Eli. We love that matchup right there. Boom. Perfect. Yeah, great pass.
Wide open.
So when we get Elijah to the 5 sometimes, he's even a bigger weapon offensively. So when they go to this lineup, it helps us. We're switching a lot of ball screens. We're trying not to switch handoffs. No back cuts. Got to keep Noah in front of us. Wilkins is a good three-point shooter, so great switch.
I thought you really had in this segment really locked down defensively.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 or 3 segments where they get a poor shot or a turnover. Just really locked them down.
And that's where it went. It went, they made their 10-0 run, cut it to 3, and now you look what we did out of that timeout. We came right back and I think went on a 7-0 run to get it back up to 10. So that's the game of basketball right there.
Game of runs.
Now Bargs is helping me, Mike, right now. Just offensively, what do we want to execute right here out of the timeout? Let's get a good shot here, because this is where you can really, build a little cushion going down the stretch. If you can get this lead a little bigger, end of the year, legs are tired, and really get our crowd, which was tremendous. Our Bradley fans are so loud in there. Get them going and get them rocking a little bit more. So we're coming out of this timeout. This is big. There's a ton of game left, tons. So 10-point lead is nothing. But we want to come out and get something good here if we can.
Same kind of action you saw us run for Darryl, and we felt like Nate had a chance at this play, pre-prepping in the night before and watching them play. And we had great execution, great read by Nate, just little more off balance than he'd prefer to be, but still gets a pretty clean look for him.
There's tons of discipline here defensively. Look at Nate move his feet, man. Talk about improving the great vertical wall up, but Nate just improved so much on the ball.
And then obviously when Robin's back in, we came back with Koch at the break.
And that was an aggressive freshman shot right there. But you know what? I like that he's showing the guts to take it. Look at Koch.
Watch this block.
Look at that.
I mean, that was an instinct block. I mean, really completely out of position, but again, just never quit on the play.
Like Drew,
Very artistic.
And I believe it was a
Drew said it in the Southern Illinois game, Mike, but you can say that. I mean, how smart of a defender was Koch Barr?
So smart.
Yeah.
And really took this game personal. Felt like it wasn't his best game when we were in Des Moines, and really wanted to play well in that matchup.
You see Darryl's not losing Penn. So we're in lockdown right now on Penn. We don't want Penn to get easy touches. We want to keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. He's a very good passer.
shot clock.
Another great stance. I mean, this is how game.
And there was nothing. I mean, you had them completely discombobulated, nothing to look at, no rhythm at all.
He had Darryl on one side that was going to steal it, and then he ran right into Koch, and he had nowhere to go.
Yeah. And then after that run right there, we controlled the rest of the game.
Yeah.
And able to close out Saturday of the semis and move on to another championship game on Sunday. So we were obviously very excited, but we were on a mission. I mean, we weren't celebrating much. You guys know that. It was, hey, one more down. Now what do we got to do to get ready for the next one? And it was a great mindset and a lot of maturity on that group that year.
That was road construction defense. When you go in someplace, road construction, it slows everybody down.
Yeah. Keep the ball on you.
I think it really speaks to our roster too. When you look at, they have size, we can bring size in, they go small, we can adjust to that and be just as effective on both ends of the floor. And, it's something coaches talk to us about day one in recruiting is like, here's what I want to design this as. I want to be big enough to play with the big boys, and I want to be small enough and mobile enough to play when people start running us around the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you see that really well in this game, that the roster was very key in what we were doing.
And I think this year, that's a great point. I mean, we have that this year too. I mean, at a high level, right, Mike? I mean,
absolutely.
Real big, physical, and we can go small and athletic and switch everything. I mean, we have a lot of versatility too, so it's exciting.
So you have about 24 hours. Playing and winning this first semifinal game gets you guys off the feet a little bit earlier, gets you more time to prepare for both teams, whoever had the scout, Valpo and Missouri State. So there's an advantage of putting that in the hopper, putting it behind you, and getting ready for the back-to-back championship games.
Yeah, and it's pretty much routine. We're in the same hotel, so you guys know you got to get through four floors. The fourth floor of all the Bradley fans, you got to walk through, get into our film room and cheering everybody on and celebrating the win and letting them know we got one more and we got to take care of business. But, we were just, obviously heck of an accomplishment to be in 3 Final Fours in a row, but then 2 championships in a row and just give ourselves an opportunity on Sunday. That's all we wanted.
Chance to win back-to-back titles for the first time in Bradley history. That's Drake in the hopper. Now we have a championship game coming up. We'll tell you the opponent, we'll look at the game, and we'll talk about it on our next look back at Arch Madness 2020.